Okay, well, let's start with who we are first.
Who we are, we're part of the Dayton Home Builders Association, and we are part of the Green Building Task Force that was developed about 4 or 5 years ago. And one of the things that we've always been dealing with is people not understanding that bits and pieces of building an energy efficient home is not the total impact of building the entire envelope. So what the High Performance Home Pavilion is to do is to show the bits and pieces, but then to also talk about how they're integrated to make one building envelope a high efficient energy environment for people to live in. So instead of building a house, we're talking about building a high efficient home to live in.
There's actually 9 different areas within the pavilion here to talk about these different segments, and you bring them all together, and that is the high performance home. And the 9 segments are basically dealing with thermal barriers, air barriers, the quality of the air that's in your house, daylighting. This particular exhibit kind of brings in 3 or 4 different items about air sealing your home. We also talk about the ventilation of your home, vapor barriers of your home. We also talk about alternative energy. Once you have the home very energy efficient, then we talk about solar hot water, solar PV. We have HVAC systems here that are the newest, extremely high efficiency HVAC systems, and that includes everything from radiant floor to what's known as mini splits to geothermal and the sensors and the monitoring systems to go with that. We also talk about the new energy code that's coming up on January 1st, 2013. There'll be a new energy code, and we have a segment to talk about that, educate both builders and homeowners that your house is going to be much tighter. And we also have a little section about the incentives. And it's more than just incentives from Dayton Power Light, but there's also incentives to do a high performance home through a mortgage company that's giving you a discount on your closing costs. And also, if you go into alternative energy, there's, for example, there's 30% investment tax credits and things like that. So we've tried to hit 9 different modules, talk about what a high performance home is.
And by having the samples and the equipment that's here, people, when they go back to talk to their builders or their designers, they can say, we saw this at a show, we understand what it does, now how about including it into our home? And this is not a matter of how to sell a specific product, it's a matter of educating the buying public to what they should look for to buy that quality product to build that high efficiency home.
Of the 9 modules we talked about here, we actually have 13 different vendors. And one of the things we kept asking the vendors is, yeah, we can show you a little bit about your brand name, but let's talk about educating the public. So if you look around, there's very little trade show atmosphere here. It's educating the public.
And that's the best way to get the point across to it.
So tonight so far, I've had realtors come in, we had home inspectors come in, we had appraising people come in. So we're trying to get the word out to all those people associated with the home building construction business.
But for the next 2.5 weeks, we'll be here, and anytime the show is open, somebody will be here to answer any questions whatsoever that the buying public might want to ask.